welcome to River City Plus. It is the extension of River City Live, and today we're talking about comedy, specifically local comedy. I've got my man Sean Steele here, and he's got his finger on the pulse of all that is going on around Jacksonville and Mayport. And yeah, because when we met, we were like, it was all about the Mayport comedy scene.
Right.
And it's like this little window or pocket of space, but there's actually comedy all over Jacksonville.
Yeah, but a lot of people saw that segment and they're like, what about us? Hey, Murray Hill, we got stuff going on, right? I'm like, hey, okay.
Everybody's like, you're locationist.
Right. You can't win.
I know. But we did mention that there's stuff going on.
We did.
But we just kind of hit on Mayport.
People hear what they want to hear, right?
So we hit on Mayport, obviously,
Right.
but here we're going to try to talk about a little open spaces.
Okay.
So, yeah, so what kind of stuff do we have going on?
There's a lot going on this month. We're getting down to the end of April, going into May. Weather's getting better. People are starting to come out, so we're seeing some better crowds. Tonight we're over at Lynch's Irish Pub. We've got a great lineup there. It's a free show. Most of our shows are free. Generally, if it's in a bar or a restaurant, it tends to be free. Can't really stop people from coming in.
Right.
That's a great show. We have a big show coming up May 10th over at the South Bank Hotel.
Okay.
It's sponsored by the Montenegro Ranch, which is out in Lake City. And that's going to be 2 shows. It's going to be a show at 5 o'clock for families, i.e. bring the kids, have some fun.
Right.
And then an 8 o'clock show that's a little bit more adult.
Yeah, I like that.
So that one's going to be a ticketed event, and you can find tickets online. If you follow me on socials, that stuff's posted everywhere.
So where do people find out who's going to be in the lineup? Because, all right, well, let's put it like this. So people probably come to different shows.
Right.
Do you find that some people are finding like a comedian and they kind of follow them around the city?
Exactly, and that's why I made a couple of notes here, Rance. Like, there's a couple of people that are really blowing up. Alex Fitzjohn is one. You can follow him at the real Alex F. He's on the show tonight at Lynch's. He's on a bunch of stuff. He does the midnight hour with me down at First Coast in Mayport every Saturday night. If you can't sleep on a Saturday night, 11:45, we've got a great show for you there. Wendy Gillis, professor over at UNF. Hilarious lady.
A professor?
I know, right? You wouldn't think so, right? But she's doing Third Space down in St. Augustine with me on May 9th. She's going to be at that Montenegro Ranch show I mentioned over at South Bank on the 10th. And it's probably on some other stuff I'm forgetting about. Yeah. I mean, people do tend to get their favorites. I mean, I get people coming to shows all the time or at mics and go, is so-and-so going to be here? And I always tell them, probably later, sit down.
See, you never know. Why am I going to tell it all away and you're going to leave? No.
Right. Oh, they're later. They're here.
And don't be mad. You saw some other good comedy while you were waiting.
Exactly. So, so comedy in Jacksonville has been going great. Obviously, we have the Comedy Zone bringing in big name talent all over the place, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, there's stuff going on every night of the week. If you go to comedy shows in Jacksonville on Facebook, that page generally will tell you all the shows that are going on. And that doesn't even include the open mics, where I know you and I have talked. We're going to get you out to
I'm
one.
coming. I swear, I'm coming. So 2025 is like get out of my comfort zone and do things that I might have thought of. But so I've actually been working on material.
Okay.
So that's the hard part is like sitting down, fleshing it out, and then it's actually the hard part's probably going up there and just being stripped naked for everybody to see your soul.
The good news in Jacksonville, and I've done a lot of traveling lately. Jacksonville is a very welcoming scene.
Okay.
I mean, this is the place, if you're going to start and give it a shot, nobody's going to crush you out there. Everyone's supportive, and people do great. Bedlam every Sunday night is a great, 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock is a great time to come out. I'll give you a little extra time if you want to work something out. If you just want to tell 2 jokes, that's cool too. We have a really cool showcase we just started over in Murray Hill. Mentioned them.
Yeah, Murray Hill.
A place called Just One More.
Okay.
It's a great little club right on Roosevelt Boulevard. You got to Google the address. It's a little tricky to find.
I've driven by that place.
I couldn't tell you how to get there, but it works. Follow the Google Maps. You'll find it. That's every Thursday night at 8 o'clock, and that's got some really great comedians every week to check out.
So is that show an open show, or is that
that's
one
not
just
open? That's one to go check out.
Okay.
But a good way to get on those shows is to show up and get noticed and get a slot. So, as far as opportunities go, Shantytown on Monday nights. If you want to see everyone in the scene, that's where they are.
Shantytown.
They go. It's in Springfield on 6th Street. everyone goes there every Monday night to hang out and do a set, and it's a great place to start and get your feet wet.
So does Jacksonville, is it kind of building up like just using New York, for example? It's like, oh, everybody hangs out at the Comedy Store. I'm just throwing out some names.
Not really. I mean, I wish we could set up a place like that.
Yeah.
I would love for something like First Coast down in Mayport to become that place where people just kind of hang out.
Yeah.
Obviously, they do a lot of improv there, so we want to be respectful of their space as well. But we don't really have that one spot in Jacksonville right now that everyone goes to, other than, like I said, Shanty on Mondays is pretty good for people to show up at. But we're working on that. I mean, Jacksonville's, we got a ways to go. I mean, as cool as the scene is in Jacksonville, at 10 o'clock at night, it's mostly over. You know, whereas in a bigger city, you know, you can go from club to club and find comedy all night long. You know, we're still a little sleepy that way.
Plus, we're so spread out because, I mean, if you're in there, you're just hopping trains or whatever.
Right.
Here, it's like, wait, I'm going from Mayport to Murray Hill.
Yeah.
Like, who's paying for the gas? Who got snaps on the petrol?
And in case you haven't noticed, the motto for Jacksonville right now is we're under construction. I mean, if you pull up your Google Maps and all you see are little construction dots everywhere. So it's not that easy to get around, especially at night, because that's when they do all the work. So
I know. And then it's like, and then you're like, avoid construction, avoid this. It's like, now you're adding another 20 minutes to my trip.
Exactly.
And then I'm coming in mad. I don't even know if I'm ready to laugh.
Right. I deal with that all the time. I'll leave a show out at the beach and try to get out to Murray Hill or over to Mandarin or something, and wait, that road's closed? What's going on here? So,
what's it like for to be trying to make different rounds around the city, you know, to make yourself get your name out, get your skills in? And I mean, I know you're established, but for newbies, they're like, all right, so if I go to Bedlam on Sunday, I can get some time there. And I know Gray Matter's got some stuff, Boussoir.
Right.
I mean, I know I'm talking Mayport, but I'm just talking about places I've heard. So for them to be able to have, or newbies to have, I'm saying us, for us to have an opportunity, you've got different avenues. What's the best way people can go about
I will
that?
tell you one thing you can do is if you go to, there's a couple of pages, Jacksonville Comedy on Facebook. If you put a message on there, someone will usually chime in with information on what's going on. If you follow me on Instagram, which is Sean Steele 99, if you send me a note, I will get you the list of all the current mics that are going on in town. We don't have that many. It's not that hard to keep track of, but there is generally something every night of the week, Monday through Thursday, or Sunday through Thursday.
Right.
The weekends are more for shows, but you know there are a couple of things that pop up Friday nights once a month, stuff like that. So there's stuff out there to do.
Right.
And that's a good way to find out. Ask questions. People always want to help. We love new people coming in.
Really?
Absolutely. Yeah. Believe it or not, I get a little bored hearing myself talk all the time. And especially some of the other folks.
It's like I've heard that.
Yeah, right. I mean, people tend to think stand-up comedy it's an art, and you work to refine it, especially at open mics. So you are repeating yourself. So if you've seen Johnny on Monday, you're probably going to see the same thing on Tuesday because he's working on it. So it is cool to see new people come in and try out new stuff. It does bring a little freshness to it. So I think most people are very welcoming of new folks coming out there and giving it a shot.
Now you mentioned earlier that you go out and get your skins, and then somebody might see you, and that might get you into another mic and all that kind of thing. Have you seen anybody that has come up like that, gotten the invites, and then actually shot beyond Jacksonville?
I mean, I can think of Dylan Jarbo is a good example of a guy who used to be hanging around here all the time, very funny guy, and now he's out in Austin killing it.
Yeah.
Marcus Crespo, who's still local, tours all over the country. Anna Lepoli, same thing, started out here locally, and now she pops in for a minute every couple of months, but she's all over the place touring. So there are a lot of people doing some really cool stuff that started right here in Jacksonville.
How awesome is that people are like, I'm just kind of doing this, and maybe didn't even think of it as a necessarily career avenue, and now they're like, oh, I'm actually getting to tour the country and do the thing. Like when you got into comedy, was that your aspiration? Not
really. I got into it as just something I fell in love with, and just I enjoyed. I'm like, if it was a basketball tournament, I'm a gym rat. I mean, I will go to a mic and sit there and listen to everyone's set, even if I've heard everyone a dozen times. I love to watch little nuances of how do they react to the crowd. So you see something different every night. and it's fun. For me, now that's not for everybody.
Right.
Some people want to go and just do their thing and get on out, or they just want to be social and hang out in the back or whatever. But everyone gets what they need out of it, I think, and I think you have to find what works for you. But it's only way to find that is to get out there and give it a shot.
So you ran a couple of people on your list. You got more? More shows?
I got I do. I've Alan Tracy's another guy who's really doing some cool stuff around here. He's a guy who's been around for a long time, and he's starting to get the fever again for comedy. And you can follow him at he's got a weird one. Skate or Die Laughing is his thing. He's a skateboarder who does comedy. He hosts a mic. I call it a mic, but because it is. You can go up there and perform if you want. But it's a great room up in St. Mary's, Georgia. This place called Southern Riverwalk, right on the river. And it is one of the best crowds we go to. There, we do that show every other Monday, and it's a blast. I recommend that to anybody. So he's got some stuff going on. We have some really cool shows that I wanted to mention. River City Comedy puts on a bunch of stuff. They put on a monthly show at Blue Jay on a Thursday night that sells out every time. You got to get your tickets in advance.
Yeah, because Blue Jay is an intimate listening room, so you're probably going to top out at maybe 60 seats.
I think it's 80, but I think
How
if you
many?
80 if you count the bar.
Okay,
so yeah, that place sells out, and they have top comics from all around the region. That is definitely worth checking out. They also do a couple other rooms I want to mention. Josephine's, which I think is out in Riverside.
They do comedy in Josephine's?
They do it one Thursday a month.
So you can go over there and get some pasta,
Exactly.
and then get some laughs.
Yep, and then Burlock and Barrel is another one they do once a month on Thursdays. And these are all like incredible lineups. Now, I should mention River City also puts on the Best of Jacks every Wednesday night out at the Comedy Zone. So you get to see a show for, I don't think it's free, I think it's $5.
Sure.
$5, you go in there and you see the best local comedians and some surprises too, because if a guy's coming through town, that's a show he's going to want to jump on. So that's a great show. It's maybe not every Wednesday. They might get bumped for something here and there, but you can pretty much count on that one, and it's worth checking out.
So if you're looking to find somewhere where, the most notable in Jax, that's where they're kind of...
That's the one. Now, that's the one, I've never been booked on that show. If anybody's listening, I would very much enjoy doing it someday.
So that one's a little tougher to get into.
It's a tough gig.
So when you talk about that being a tough, because you've been around, you've got skins in the game, and they're still like, not quite there.
It's one of those things. I mean, every time you do something, you're like, oh, I want this. Like I said, I think I told you this last time we talked, but comedians are like minor league baseball players. You know, whenever somebody gets a good gig, you're very happy for them, but you also hate them.
It's like, I want
right. It's like it's kind of like, hey, I got called up to the show. Oh, good for you. I don't want to do that.
It's like I'm an only child, but I watch Siblings, and it's like, you've got ice cream, you got vanilla, but I want that, and I'm like, but you got it. Or they have the same thing, and it's like, but I want theirs. You got the same thing.
I think that's how Neapolitan ice cream got invented. Somebody's like, we're doing something about this.
It's like, we're going to stop the arguments until somebody just scoops out all the chocolate and only leaves the vanilla and strawberry. I don't know anybody's ever done that. Never heard of anybody doing that.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the beauty of it in Jacksonville is that we do have enough to go around for everybody. I mean, anybody who seriously wants to get on shows and perform and get themselves out there and can hold it together for 5 or 10 minutes, the opportunities are there.
Operative phrase is hold it together for 5 or 10 minutes. So really quick, hit them with your socials and then tell people where they can find the list of shows.
Okay, so you can find me on Instagram at SeanSteele99. Facebook is simple, just me, Sean Steele, nothing fancy there. And if you go on Facebook, there's a page called Comedy Shows in Jax. That one's kept pretty well up to date, and you can find everything that's going on show-wise. If you want to get into the mics and stuff like that, recommending going to Jax Comedy on Facebook. And like I said, you can just drop a message in there, hey, what's going on tonight or what's going on this week, and somebody will get you a list of shows.
Love it, love it. Well, I'm just going to keep talking to him and taking notes, and one day you might see me on that stage. Be very afraid. So thanks for hanging out with us, Sean.
Thanks, Ray. It's a pleasure.
All right, so you guys, we're doing the thing. Make sure you tune in. We'll be having more River City Plus coming up. And as always, at 9:30 for River City Live.